Nolan Wells. Where to begin? July 4th, the boat. 3 other individuals, a trip. Horn Island, morning depart. 9 o'clock timing, possibly have heard. Arrival, 12 o'clock, say. 3 to 12, 3 hour difference, time travel. So there does whatever. Other vessels, other individuals gather, communicate, share visual contacts, and the space. Now, what I've seen in terms of the one video with individuals on the shoreline, someone yelling, possibly about a phone, was interesting because maybe a handful of vessels, other boats with individuals positioned accordingly, some standing on vessels or within the vessel, others in water, others walking. I've seen a few people taking steps around on the shore. I've seen groups of people standing to the left of the crowd or the gathering circle or bunch of people. And without counting, like, let's say rough estimate, 75 people, 75 to 100. Let's give or take 25 people. But that, like I'm saying, visually, I've seen about 4 or 5 ships. And if you put 4 or 5 people in each one, it all becomes that number. So, in terms of travel time, like I said, gathering 12 to original vessel leaves at 4:30, okay? Said to have left without Nolan Wells. Left possibly before other vessels. Now, that is still unknown, still unsure about specific time frames and other vessel departs or arrivals. But to say there was, a structural issue, and so there was a call to a Coast Guard rescue service, towing a water rescue service, and that report indicated that all was aboard. Now, that has to include Nolan Wells because he was originally on board when they departed from the original dock. So in order for them to say that, he must have been present, or he is, in a, I should say, a misleading of statement, or really misleading, in terms of suspect statements, really. Okay. And so, in that being clear, they say there was uh, a meeting where there was some slow motion within the boat, but it was towed for a period. It was kind of cleared of the water and allowed to regain speed and pursue more regularly to the original docking point. So now what needs to happen is that whoever towed that boat, whoever assisted them in terms of the water accumulation on board needs to, communicate the relative number of individuals in terms of, the vessel itself more than anything else. Okay. Now, because this was not an enclosed vessel. This was open on all sides. So there was nowhere to hide. Shit. What I seen was the vessel open on all sides. There was nowhere to hide. And so that is where they have to begin. Because like I said, once they got back there, they was another point on the boat GPS tracking has showed multiple trips back to the Horn Island location, different stopping points around, I think five around, it says something about 7 o'clock-ish, I should say. And then another afterwards, I forget exactly which time, but there was multiple trips back to the Horn Island afterwards. Okay? Now, Nolan as an individual is missing at this point. The first moments in terms of 7 o'clock, okay, it's still unknown because, like I said, if they depart at 4:30, the other vessels, the other individuals are on Horn Island, and so where he is located in terms of, communicating with potential rescue or potential individuals that could be, his transportation route or his, use of vessel within the Mississippi Strait, whatever the fuck it is. Um, um, and so that has not been reported. It's just been said about a girl named Katie has said he wanted to go back to the original boat. And I don't know if he was on the boat with her and got off. Now that is kind of up in the air, but and so that is July 4th. July 5th, we got to go into that a whole nother time frame, but that is just where we at with July 4th. That has to be considered the most significant because that's the last time he was supposedly seen in terms of, like I say, a handful of 75 to 100 people seen this man last. At 4:30 is considered the individuals who arrived with him last, visual contact point. Last visual contact point to speak clearly. Let me get the words out first, last, letters. But sometimes I just go fast and, just running out the mouth.